Hi, my name is Ishalila Matraya. I'm a midwife working in Hillingdon. I chose to be a midwife when I was 12 because I knew that it would be a job that stimulates me and challenges me, but encourages me to grow, as well as the fact that I knew, which is my main factor being, that I'm going to be there to look after patients and their partners. It's not necessarily just about the women you look after, you've got to make sure the whole room is okay and everyone's looked after and to give compassionate care. The days and hours that I work, I have no shift patterns. It's actually what's on the off duty. You can request certain days to work and certain days to be off. You get 6 of those every month. My hours, if I'm working a day shift, is 13 hours. So I'll work from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. with a 1 hour lunch break in the middle. On a night shift, it's 12 hours. So we do 7:30 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. and you still get an hour's break, but again, that's give or take depending on labour ward activity or ward activity. What days and times I work, I don't actually have any set shift pattern. It's more pretty much along the lines of what's on the rota. So I could work any day during the week and any shift during the week. It could be a mix of days and nights, could be earlys, could be lates. So the difference between the days and nights isn't necessarily much different. You'll still be doing the same job that you're doing. Women still have babies 24/7. You can't control that. It is a natural thing. When I do say about the caring for the women, you do end up building a really strong relationship with them. And I think that is probably key to being a nurse or a midwife, anything to do with healthcare. Having that communication, having that set of skills to build that relationship with someone that you've never met before. You'll start your job at 7:30, you'll take handover, you'll go into this room potentially with a woman you have never met before, and you go in there and you start your relationship from scratch, and it's from that initial point where you've got to create the understanding and boundaries that if you listen and compromise with me, I'll more than happily compromise with you. I'm never going to be there as a midwife to say you can't have this, we're not doing this. I'll be my best. I'll try my best to be your advocate. So balancing my everyday work life was something that I did have to grow accustomed to. But it is well managed. I make sure that I'm eating, drinking plenty, and the luxury of using the bathroom when I can. And it can be difficult to balance a social life because on the days that you're working might be the weekend or night shifts. Conventionally, those might be times and days off for those in more office hour based jobs or weekday based jobs. But you do find a balance quite easily in this job role. You can compromise. And as long as you know that there are people who understand the fact that you're working these kinds of hours, it's a lot nicer to be able to meet with them and catch up and balance your own social life, work life and personal life. So my first delivery by myself was spent with me having an emergency within the first 15-20 minutes of me taking her, having to try and deal with that emergency alone and trying to support the woman through it whilst I'm examining her, whilst I'm trying to give her, talk her through it. And then we had to give her an appease because baby was quite big when she was coming, and we had to do the whole manoeuvres, hyperflex the legs and try to make space for baby's shoulders to come through without being stuck or impacted anymore. From the moment I took over the shift, they were actually quite nice and commending the care that I gave, to say that I was with them and supported them, and it was the fact that I listened to them, which I think is the most important thing in this job role, is to be able to listen to the people you look after. It's the little things, you don't have to do anything exceptional or incredible, just kind of show that you are there for them. And they were so supportive, knowing it was my first day, didn't feel like, oh, you're not experienced as a midwife. So I currently live 200 miles away from what I consider to be home, which is Leeds. Is it hard being away from home? It's difficult, it's really difficult, especially when you had the plan to go home after 3 years. So my initial plan, stay home for university, be living at home, commute. Then that didn't happen. I ended up moving down south to High Wycombe. So then I thought, okay, smash out these 3 years, get them done, go home again, work nearer to home, live with my parents, be with my mum and my dad and near to my sister. Yeah, that didn't happen either. Where for me, mum is home. Anywhere she goes in the world, that is home for me. I don't think I could call a place home if she isn't there. So that's what I find difficult, is being away from the people that I want to be with the most.